All right, I'm live. I'm Mike Caton. I'm with Ace Method Coaching. And if you're new here, what I do here is once a week, I get on and I do a batch of hurdle reviews from middle school, high school, and collegiate hurdlers who send me their video asking me to give them some advice, help them to get better. I get a whole lot of requests. Just so you'll know, on Ace Method Coaching, I do several things to help hurdle coaches who need to know more to help their hurdlers, but also hurdlers who want to get better but don't have the expertise to help them. So I provide a service to both those people, and it goes real well. I have instructional videos. I have Hurdling 101, 201, 301, which takes you all the way from beginner to elite. And then also I have a hurdling training plan. I have a version for coaches and a version for athletes. And it's a very big document with all the workouts that you need from beginning of the season to the end of the season. And I also do a much bigger version of what I'm doing here, which is called a virtual coaching session. And on a virtual coaching session, it's where I either have an appointment with someone and we do this over Zoom, or we do it with email. Either way, you're sending me your videos and I'm devoting a lot of time, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it takes to help you out, everything that you need to get better and have a successful season. But in addition to that, I get a lot of free requests, and I like to help people out as much as I can. It used to be really easy, but now it's getting hard as my business is really getting bigger. And I get way more requests than I can actually accommodate. If I did them all, I wouldn't be able to do anything else business-wise. So what I do is I take 5 or so. I think today I'm doing 7, just because I had a really hard time narrowing them down. It was really hard. I only could take some of them. So I'm just doing those. And I also have to do much quick versions. These are like 5 minutes maximum on each athlete versus the long time that I spend when I actually do a coaching session. So if you want my help, that's the way to go. Just asking for a free version like this is a gamble because you might not even be selected. And even that, it's going to be a quick version just so I can help you. But if you really want help, and I can really help you get ready for this next season, you definitely want to do a coaching session with me. Look into it. It's well worth the money. Everybody's always said they loved it, and money back guarantee, and you'll like it. So go for it. So I am going to hop in. I just realized I got the wrong screen on again. No, it's okay. Okay, let me jump in here come on. So I'm realizing is every time I stream, my computer just bogs down. I'm going to be getting a new one soon. Okay, so my mouse doesn't want to move. I'm going to go to here, and I just realized that I haven't totally set it up yet. Bad coach. Okay. Hurdling. Live streams, February 6th. Okay, here's who I'm doing in this order. I'm going to review Christian, KaMari, Carinton, Dimitri, Cassidy, Jonothan, and James. Okay, so first one, Christian. Come on. Okay, so here's what I know about Christian. He's a junior in high school, only his second year hurdling, having a hard time staying low, Doesn't like his trail leg. It's not coming down fast enough, and he feels like he's off balance. So he's only been hurdling. This is only his second year hurdling. You're saying the right thing, so it seems like you're paying attention. Maybe you're watching some of my videos because you're speaking my language. So he is, I think 2 people are running here, and he is the person in the white tank top. So, okay, let me pause here real quick. What I'm doing here is, this helps me get the start of the video where I want it to be. That way, if I go back to the beginning, I don't have to watch him sit in the blocks. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to make this the end of the video. All right. So let's check you out full speed on the right-hand side. Something interesting. I mean, you're definitely staying flat, which is really good. I wish I had a camera angle from the side, but let me see what I can figure out. And there's definitely some off balance here. Okay, so he says, can't stay low. Having a hard time bringing the trail leg down and coming off balance. Okay. Definitely off balance there because you hit the hurdle. You're pretty wild in general. Let me see. Okay, what I can see even from this angle, if you look right here, you are striking the ground on your heel. See that? I can see the bottom of your shoe here. So that's out in front of you, which is a braking action, but it's also a good way to launch you up. And you want to try to get that last step underneath you on the ball of your foot, and then come forward. I like your knee action. So your lead leg actually moves pretty well, but you are high over the hurdle, which makes me think that you maybe are too close to the hurdle when you take off. I think you are. That's a big problem. Let me see how you do here. I can't tell because I don't have a side view, but I strongly suspect that you're too close to the hurdle when you take off. So it's forcing you to go a little high. Okay, that's one thing. Your trail leg is not moving through properly at all. So you're right about that. So at this point right here, your trail leg should be straight out from your hip. So your thigh should be parallel to the hurdle top, parallel to the ground. And you have your knee low and your foot high. I shouldn't see your foot above your knee here. And then when you come down, this is not, as far as the lower body goes, this is not bad. So maybe your trail leg isn't as bad as I thought. But except what I don't like this. Like when you pull through here, you want to we always say, try to bring your knee by your armpit. You want to get a little higher up in there. But this, I got to say here, isn't bad. This isn't bad look at all. You are definitely twisted though. See how your shoulders are rotated counterclockwise? So when you come through, keep your shoulders square. So one of the things that's messing you up, let's see. I like your trail arm, pretty good. Let me look at your lead arm. Your lead arm just is swinging back straight. It should be bent at 90 degrees. Your hand should be brushing right past your knee. So think about pulling your elbow back. Okay, so the main things that I see is what I said here. I think you're too close to the hurdle. It's making you go a little bit high. You're letting your upper body twist. Try to keep hips and shoulders forward. Pull this trail leg through without lifting your knee. And this looks pretty good. But you're so off balance here. Look how you're turned sideways. Let's figure out why. Because this looks good. Why did you turn sideways like that? I don't... See if you do it on the other hurdle. You did it again. But I thought it was just because you hit that hurdle. Sideways. Sideways. Can't tell. Okay, so it's not obvious why you're turning sideways, just something you really need to work on, okay? So step back a little bit, go flatter at it, make sure your arms are moving forward and back properly, and try to keep your shoulders squared, keep your abs tight when you go over the hurdle, okay? I think that'll help. Okay, next is KaMari. Okay, KaMari is a college freshman, but only in his first year of hurdling. So he didn't hurdle in high school. His cut step, meaning his last step as he goes over the hurdle, is an issue for him. His trail arm, and he wants to get off the hurdle faster. And he is the person with the black top. Okay, let me move this. Well, that was ironic. Here's what I mean by ironic. Like, I see what you were doing. You're doing the drill to try to build your speed between the hurdle, where you go first hurdle, second hurdle, third hurdle, and then the fourth hurdle's not there, or it's moved. You move the fourth hurdle just back a little bit so you can take like 5 steps between the hurdle. But ironically, this is where I would have loved to have seen you from the side going over the hurdle. So I don't get any shot that I really want. That's what I mean by ironic. Okay. They're not bad though. Overall, I like the video. It's one of the reasons that I picked it. Okay, so okay. That looks good right there. Looks really good. You move your lead arm really nicely. The way you shoot it out like that and then pull it back looks pretty big time. Except I wish that when you pull it back that your elbow was bent more. Try to get your hand right by your knee. Your lead leg action looks pretty good. Trail leg is really good, almost parallel to the hurdle, so that's really good. You are a bit high though over the hurdle. But something doesn't look right. Like, this looks good to here. And then here is where you start to look not right. Okay, for one, try to keep your knee tucked into your butt farther. So it's a bit too open already at this point. Okay? When it pulls through, you want that heel right tucked to your butt on the back side of your thigh there. This step, obviously, if you can see yourself, you're actually landing maybe flat-footed, so that's not terrible. And you already know what a cut step is. Lead leg action, like I said, pretty good. Everything looks really good. Something's not right. What is it? I wish I had got you from the side. Man, I picked some hard videos today. I'm not sure what this is all about. It's, well, okay, part of the deal is just because you're too high. See how high you are over this hurdle? And this is a 40, this might be a 39 inch. I'm not sure if you put it down for practice, but you're just too high over it. So you should be landing on the ground already by now, but you're having to go a little farther. It's not bad. Your knee should be higher at this point. So there's something not right with your trail leg. Like I told you, I think you need to have your heel tucked in there tighter. Pulls in high. And down. Maybe I can tell here. Okay, so this looks good. Okay, all right, so even from this angle, here's what I see, is that you look good going into the hurdle, but I think you also might, yeah, okay. Well, look at this. This is where it would have been great from a side view. So you reached the top of your jump, the peak, the apex of your parabola, right here. And you're already past the hurdle. This is supposed to happen in front of the hurdle. And then you come down on the hurdle. And look how far away you're landing. This is really far. You are about as far on the back side of the hurdle as you take off from the front side of the hurdle. Maybe farther. It's supposed to be a 2-to-1 ratio between this side and this side. So back up a little bit, go lower, and I think it's going to fix your the landing, because things just don't look right here, and it's because you're still sailing through the air to land 6 or 7 feet on the other side of the hurdle, and it should be about 3 feet on the other side of the hurdle. It's just messing you up. Okay, that's what you need to work on. Okay. All right, moving on to Carinton. Carinton is a high school senior and having a hard time with slowing down over the hurdles. Let me get him in the picture. Here we go. And there's a lot of people who'll be jealous about this indoor facility to practice in, Carinton. Okay, so let's look at you full speed. This looks pretty good, pretty good. Something funny about your trail leg, though. You're efficient, though. You don't jump high over the hurdle. Your strides are kind of a little bit stretched out. I'm going to slow it down, but I want to just see it full speed for a second. Okay. Okay, good step going into the hurdle. Not perfect, but really good. I'm going to catch you coming off this hurdle and get you at this next video. So you are high. See how high you are over that hurdle? Try to go flatter. Then again, if this is 39 inches and you're racing at 42, this would probably be about right. I'm sorry, if this is 36 and you're racing at 39, this would be about right. But if this is set at 39, then you're jumping too high, okay? And then you are definitely pretty far on this side. Just like KaMari before you, you're too far. This is just not right. So let's see if we can figure out why here. Okay, here's one issue. I'm gonna just go from here, touching down, and when you touch down here, your knee is too low. Your knee, trail leg, as it went through right here, should have, from this point on, let me zoom in. From this point on, your knee should have started to climb, ascend, get higher, bring it by your armpit, and yours just sort of drops. In fact, it goes lower. It doesn't even go forward at all. It goes lower. At this point right here, your hip should be here. Your knee should be here. I'm not going to draw it. Your knee should be here, and then your foot should be about right here, but your knee is down here. Your foot is way down here. Okay? And then you drop it very powerfully down here, but yours just sort of just starts dropping. So you're losing speed. You're not taking advantage of this. Here's what you need to get in your head, that your right leg is the machine. It is the engine that is going to get you over that hurdle. So basically you step with it right here, which you do a nice job of, push really hard off of it, whip it around high where your knee is up here, and then bring it down to the track fast and powerfully, bam. But yours just goes, drop, right? So that's your main issue, is your trail leg, okay? Let me zoom out. So second step, wait, what the heck's going on here? So first step, second step, third step. Yeah, it's out in front of you. Okay, now you're farther away. Maybe it's because it was your first hurdle. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I would try to keep your heel tucked up to your butt longer. At this point right here, it shouldn't be this open, okay? Only to about here should it start to unfurl. So hold it by your butt longer, drive your knee to the top of the hurdle. Let's see what happens. So see where your knee is? It shouldn't go any higher than, say, here, but right here. So you're reaching the top about right here, and then you're landing. So this is better than the first hurdle, but it still could be better, okay? You shouldn't be landing this far away. So stay lower, possibly take off. Let's say this, if you were to take off 6 inches back and try to go a little flatter, you would come off this hurdle and land about right here. And you would come off this hurdle faster. And the other thing is, see when you're down here, see how your knee is bent? You shouldn't be angled like this. You should be up taller than this. And your knee should be high by your chest. So what happens is when you come down here, you want to be pushing your hips forward as you're coming off the hurdle. So you're up tall, hips forward, legs straight, knee higher, and then boom, powerful trail leg drop to the next hurdle. Oh, that's a huge step. That's partly because you're losing speed over the things that I'm showing you here. And so now you have to work really hard to reach the next hurdle. I do like this last step. You do this really, really well. But this is where you're having to work hard as the second step. This is too stretched out. So if you could maintain your speed by being lower, flatter, coming off that hurdle taller, whipping that trail leg through better, you'll have more speed going into the next hurdle and you won't have to stretch it out so far. And the other thing is, yeah, if it looks like you are practicing on the racing marks, I wouldn't do that. Here's the reason why. Because this means that every time you practice, you're practicing with bad stride in order to try to reach the hurdle. And you're never going to learn how to get better if you don't practice better. So pinch those hurdles in about a foot. Get over them better, practice better, and it'll translate to a really nice meet. Okay, that's my recommendation for you. Okay, going on to Dimitri. Okay, Dimitri, this is him, the only one in the race. I wonder what that was all about. High school senior, been hurdling for 5 years. He's saying he's racing in the 15s and just can't seem to break 15 to get into the 14s. And could I help him figure out why? Let's figure it out. Actually, I looked at it the other day, and it wasn't easy. But I came up with some ideas, but that was a few days ago, and I forgot them since then. Because you are good. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. Okay, so you are good, Dimitri, for sure. It's the reason why you're running the low 15s. I'm assuming they're low 15s. Okay, but here's what I see. That's good. That's a good last step. Coming into the hurdle. I'm going to wait. You know what? I'm going to withhold judgment until I get you more from it. But let me see what I see from here. So obviously, see how your arm is crossing your midline of your body? This hand should never cross over there. So don't hook it across your face. That's going to mess with your balance a little bit. But I have to admit, your shoulders are staying pretty square. So good job. You like to hold your trail leg in tight, which I know some of the elite guys do, but it should not be forward like this. It should be, honestly, I would just let it swing naturally, okay? I wouldn't let it go way far behind, but just let it swing more naturally. So at this point, if your right foot is forward and your right leg is forward and left leg is back, then your left arm should be forward and your right arm should be back, and you have both arms forward. I mean, you see that. Your hip is way over here. Your hand is over here in front of your chest. So that's not right. So it's just not natural rhythm or balance, okay? But you are pretty low. You're hitting it with your hamstring on the way down. These look tall. Wonder if you're in college. Either way. Not bad. Good. 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 Okay, same thing. Both arms forward as you go over the hurdle. Yeah, it's way here. It's in front of your knee even. Okay, that's my number one thing, or at least my first thing. Yeah, those arms. Okay, and the other thing is the second half of the race. The second half of the race, you just start to break down. It doesn't look anything like the first half of the race. You're reaching far from the hurdles, like you're having a hard time getting to them. You just looked so tight and quick the first 5 hurdles, and then it just not the same. I mean, this is like out of control. So which leads me to my second point is I just wonder if it comes down to speed endurance and hurdle racing endurance. So what I would do, because the way you look at the first half of your race, you look like you should be running in the 14s. And then by the end of the race, I see why I'm surprised you're not running in the 15s almost. Oh, wait up. Let me see if I got my numbers right here. Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. You should be running faster. Okay, so I would make sure that you're working on endurance. And there's a couple of things that you can do. I'm hesitating here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a copy of my hurdle training plan. Because what that has is all the workouts you need for a season, right? Now, when you're training for hurdling and you want to get better all season long, you need to be doing some workouts for speed, some workouts for speed endurance, some workouts for technique. and they need to change throughout the week, and they need to change throughout the season. At the beginning of the season, you train differently than the middle of the season, and you train differently than the end of the season. And you need to go through a progression, go through a cycle in order to get faster. And I don't know that you are working enough on your endurance. And that's part of why you might be breaking down. So for those of you who are watching this and you think, I want to get better, you should be using my training plan. I'll just tell you, it's the plan that I have used with hurdlers for years. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. But part of the reason why I have over 60 state champions and finalists who have used this program, and more in the later years as I've gotten it better to the point where it is now. So I definitely recommend you go to my website and check it out. But Dimitri, I'm going to send it to you because I just used you as a good sales pitch. Okay, so put a little mark there to remind me to send that to you. Okay, Cassidy sent me 3 great videos, different angles. One from the side, another one of her racing, and another one from the front. How could I say no, Cassidy, when you did such a good job? So let's watch you race first. Cassidy is a senior who's been hurdling for 4 years. Just really wants to get her time down this year and wants to master the 3 steps. Let me see if I can tell who you are in this race. Oh, you're the little one who's winning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So let's look at it again. So obviously aggressive, fast, but you're 4-stepping. Okay, so let me say this for anybody watching and also for you, Cassidy. You're a really good 4-stepper, and obviously you're beating a lot of girls. Some of them might even be 3-stepping, I'm not sure. But one thing to know is that the goal really is to 3-step, but not everybody can do it. And it really comes down to overall speed. So if I were talking to you, my first question would be, what's the fastest time you've run in the 100-meter dash? And if it is a high 13, like 13.7, I might say, I don't know if you have enough speed to 3-step. You need to be somewhere probably in the lower half of the 13s and into the 12s to really be good at 3-stepping. It's so keep that in mind, okay? And if you're not, then you just have to be as good as you can at 4 steps, okay? So let me give you some advice first. So what I would do is at practice, this is all in my Hurdling 101. I'm going to send you my 101. And it shows you a strategy for pinching in decreasing the spacing of the hurdles to a space that you can 3-step comfortably. And then getting really good at that. And as you get good at that, more efficient and more confident and faster, you're going to find that you can gradually spread the hurdles out, spread them out until you eventually get to the point where you've got them about 12 to 16 inches away from the actual mark to race at. And if you could do that in practice, usually you can go into the meet and race regular, okay? But if you are finding that you can't get close enough, like you can't get, any closer than say 2.5 feet, no matter what you do, then it might be that you are not a candidate for 3-stepping. That's kind of a test there, okay? So let's look at what I'm seeing here. I don't know which one is your favorite leg, but I can tell you on this one, you are leading with a too open of a lead leg. See, I can see it never goes more than about 90 degrees at your knee. you're swinging it up. Your arms are flat out, they're not straight out, but they're straight. And then your trail leg just sort of drops. Oh, you hit it. Let me see if I can. Let me go back to the other one. Okay, not a pretty hurdle. I can't really tell which one is your dominant leg. They're both similar. It might be your left leg. This is not a good trail leg. Plus, see how you're just like hunched over? You really want to get up tall, really tall. Rotate your hips forward. Good sprinting form, landing on the balls of your feet underneath you and not so scrunched down the way you are. Okay? It's like you're trying to jump up. Yeah, I don't know which one is your best lead leg. And your trail leg on both of them is just pulling through too soon. Like you need to push off harder off of this leg. I do like that you come down on the hurdle. That's good. So if any boys are watching this, see how close she's landing and how far she takes off? That's what you want to do. Should be much farther on this side, closer on this side. But when I look at your trail leg, I mean, here you are at the top of your jump and you already have your knee all the way forward. Your thigh at this point should be almost straight out from your hips and your foot back wrapped around back here. So it means that usually you aren't pushing hard enough off of this leg to get a full extension at your pelvis to go over that hurdle hard and forward. Plus you're too high, but that's not a bad landing. Good job on that. Same thing, you need to push harder off that plant leg. Okay, so in summary, you got my strategy for learning how to three-step. But the other is, by the way, I would go to practice and I would work on both. Like I would do a few repetitions with the hurdles pinched in, working on your three-step. Then I would spread them out to regular distance and practice your four-step. That way you can go into meets and still race until you get to the place where you can three-step. Okay, so just know that. And then also push harder off your plant leg. And then I think those are the two main things for you. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't even look at your other videos. And let me check it out. Woo. Okay. So see how low you are? You shouldn't be low like this coming in. This looks like somebody who wants to jump up, right? Because you're getting down to jump up. You need to be up tall at this point. And then big step landing out in front of you like this is not what you want. You need to keep the step shorter, get your knee bent more and your foot underneath you, landing on the balls of your foot right here, the ball of your foot right here, not on your heel out here. And see how your heel should be tucked up to your butt right now? And you're leading with almost a straight leg up. That's slow, and it gives you too much lift, okay? Shouldn't look like that. This doesn't look bad here, except your arms are straight, and they should both be bent at 90 degrees, okay? Now let's look at the other one. What the heck was that? You came out of that block funny. Yeah, see the arms out like that? Not a bad landing. Yeah, that last step, For some reason, you're stretching out that last step. Wait, let me see something here. Okay. Yeah. All this bent knee stuff, crashing down, that's because you were too high. Okay? So, all those things together will help you. Again, I'm going to send you my 101. Okay, moving on to Jonothan. Okay, Jonothan is from one of these countries where they race in the grass, which would really be cool. Jonothan is lane 4, blue and white top, 10th grade, been hurdling for 4 years, and feels like he's overstriding between the hurdles. So here he is right here. He's got like gold jerseys all around him, and he's in the middle. Well, there's one guy next to you with another dark top, but we'll see you when you come by. Oh, you're way ahead of everybody already. Okay, so jumped way, way, way too high over this hurdle. Wow. You are probably almost 2 feet over this hurdle. Crazy. So now you got to land, wait for your body to land. Boom. Okay? And then so now gravity is pulling you into the ground because you just jumped from really high up. Fortunately, you're bigger and stronger and faster than all your other guys your age, and it's making up for it. But it needs to get better. So look how bent you are here. That's because gravity is still trying to pull you into the ground to crash, and you're using all your strength to stay up. And then now you come up, big overstride, big. That's not so bad. This is actually not bad for running in the grass. And then jump way high, and then you land again. Okay, so you're worried about your overstriding. Your overstriding is because you're jumping too high at the hurdle. And because you're jumping so high over the hurdle, you lose speed all this time in the air, and then you lose speed because you have to wait to land, and then you lose speed because of how high you jumped, and now gravity's pulling you down. So you've lost you lost all your speed between the takeoff and this step right here. And then now you start accelerating again. That's the reason why you have to run with such big strides, is to make it to the hurdle, because you lost so much speed. If all you were to do was go flat over the top of this hurdle, you would have more speed coming off of this hurdle, and you would be able to get to the next hurdle no problem, and you wouldn't have to stretch out so much. That's what you need to do. Okay. Last, James. James is from some other country, Asian country. Beautiful stadium. I just love this video. It's one of the reasons why I selected it. It's really good. It's really short though. And it stops right there. Okay, so, and it's just different. It just intrigued me. Okay, very good first step coming out of the hurdle. Very good second step coming out of the hurdle. You are strong. Let me zoom in. This is a high quality video, so it moves slow. I should have been more careful. Okay. This is it waiting for me. Okay. All right. Another good step. So notice the way James's foot is up in the air and it moves backwards before it comes down. Boom. That's great. That is what we call negative shin angle, and he is pushing only backwards on the track. He's not coming straight down, and he's not jamming forward into the track. So this is the real deal. Boom. Good. 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 That was kind of a big step. And then, okay, not bad. See, he's landing on the ball of his foot, which I've been harping on everybody to do here. Okay. And so this is a really nice last step. Really, really nice. Let's see what happens here. I like how your heel is way up here. Man, you look like, your legs look like they were drawn with somebody doing an anatomy. Look at those. You can see every muscle there. Okay, so here we go into the hurdle. The lead leg moving very nicely. Looking at the trail leg, looks like you push off really hard. Okay, the knee didn't go high. The knee only goes to here, so that's good. Lead leg looks nice. Okay, so I can tell you, if I compare you to like the guys in the Olympics, so far you were looking just like them, and then something changed. Let me show you what it is. Unfortunately, your video stops, and it would have been great to see the next hurdle. I like to see it from the very side. Like people who are watching, the best videos are when I get the camera at like the second or third hurdle. That way I can see you come up, and I can see you directly from the side going over the hurdle. That's the best. But, okay, so here's what I was saying. From here to here, well, from all this was perfect. But for some reason, usually, if this were the Olympics, you would be leaning a little farther forward. So you want to lean into it more. And at this point right here, your leg would straighten out more to be not quite fully extended, be about 90 to 95% extended at this point where your heel has not yet come up to the hurdle, but you are bending it more. So I would work on your lead leg right here, almost fully extending. And if you don't believe me, look at video, go to any race of the Olympics or the World Championships, and they show them from the side. I want you to notice that point before their heel comes up to that bar, that they have gotten their knee out. Some of them fully straight, like Hainsley Parchment from Jamaica, or some are just slightly bent, but yours is bending more instead of less. And then as you come here, it starts to come down. Still looking pretty good though. Okay. Okay, also your arms. So this arm here, your left arm, as you pull it back, see how it's almost straight? You want to get it bent at 90 degrees. So your hand sweeps right by your knee. And you want to think about pulling your elbow back, not your hand back. This arm here, behind you, and now it should start swinging forward. But I don't like the way your hand is hooked like this. It just seems something's not right about that. And it's coming across your body instead of just forward. It's supposed to go back and then forward, and yours is coming across your body. So you see how your shoulders are twisting here? You're getting off balance. So try to keep your shoulders straight forward. Swing this arm forward and then come back powerfully as if you were running. And then, okay, see how you're touching down on the ball of your foot? That's great. And then your heel comes down right here. But see how you're sitting back now? Like you're off balance and your shoulders are turned. When you come down, push your hips forward so it'll drop your lead leg down sooner and you'll be up taller, but also work with your arms to keep them more bent. Keep your shoulders square and don't let them turn the way that they are here. Okay? You're losing this is crazy. You're facing, your head's forward, but your hips, shoulders are just turned to the side. So you're wildly off balance here. Look at that. You're taking your whole step and your shoulders are facing inside the stadium. Okay? Let me go back, see if I can figure out why you're doing that. Sometimes it's caused from something else. Sorry, it's my computer is just super slow. I want to go back, but I'm afraid it's going to miss it. Here we go. I can't really tell. It seems like you've done everything right. I would just work to keep your shoulders square and see if that works. But this is a very good touchdown first step. This is a really good second step, and then the video cuts out. So, yeah, that's what I would do, are those things that I mentioned. Your arms. I think your arms and your shoulders are your big issue because everything else looks great. Your stepping is exceptional. Hey, do me a favor because, James, the quality of your video is so good. Even though I usually say I don't have time to see people's videos twice. If you could give me another video this good, but gets one of the hurdles straight on from the side, I would like to see that. I might actually be able to use that in some marketing or some instructional stuff. It's really good. Okay, so that's it for that. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to bounce out. I'm going to go to YouTube, and no questions. I have a comment where somebody just said, wow, and a heart. So I'm going to take that as a compliment. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, how do I get to be part of this? Well, you go to acemethodcoaching.com. It will send you to the hurdle page, and on the hurdle page, well, in fact, let me show you real quick. I got to go to here, screen capture only. It helps me to talk to myself. Okay, so here we are in the hurdle page. And this is if you want to download my hurdle technique cheat sheet. This is if you want to send me a video review. And this is the preseason challenge. This is only going to be up here for another week or so, then I'm going to take it down. But this is where you send me a free video. But remember, I can only do a fraction of the ones that come to me because I get too many. If you really want my help, this is what you need to do. Sign up for a virtual coaching session. Send me your video. Send me all your questions. Maybe we'll do a Zoom or email, but I will do a much better job than I did here today. And the other thing that you need to consider is this. This is like 60-page document of all the workouts that you need for the entire season from start, middle, and end. So you learn to do it right and you get better and faster throughout the season and can be really good. These three here are instructional videos. These are for people who are beginners, how to get started. This is if you want to be a good high school hurdler. And this is if you're saying, I want better than that. I want to be one of the best high school hurdlers. I want to go to college or I'm in college. This is what you want here. Okay? So all this at acemethodcoaching.com. I look forward to seeing your videos and hopefully I can give you some help. Okay. Have a good day. Coach Ace out.